All right, hello. Welcome to Tuesday. Whew. All right. I'm so thirsty. I'm so busy since I got home from work that I realized a few minutes ago, I was like, where's my water? And I realized I haven't touched it since I left work. So that was like 4:45. Oh my God. We are going to get started in just a minute here. We are going to focus on hips tonight, and specifically hip flexors, working through various lunge positions in a gentle recovery flow. We'll get some twists in there too. Oh, it's a little chilly in my house tonight, but we'll get started in a moment. Hopefully you can't hear the oven running in the background. Our oven's kind of loud, but I threw a blueberry loaf in just before starting class. That'll be done when we're done here. What do you think, Alice? Are you almost ready to get started? Yes. Yes. All right. Well, if you have two blocks, we'll tuck those up towards the top so they're handy if and when you need them. I really do recommend blocks for tonight. They're really nice to have when working through some lunge shapes. And let's get it started on the back. And let's start with the feet planted out the width of the mat. So we're finding a wide stance here. And let the knees fall together. Arms could relax wherever's comfortable, maybe taking that out to a T, or finding a goalpost position here, gently opening up the chest. We'll start with just a few nice deep breaths here, maybe softening the gaze, or even closing the eyes. Alright, taking deep, long breaths. We'll take about 5 more rounds here. Great, and from here, we'll start to move to some slow windshield wipers. Let the knees fall over to either side. Inhaling as it pulls through center. Exhaling as they take it over to the other side. Really nice and slow. Let that leading leg open as wide as it can before the other chases it to the side. So we're almost passing through a frog shape in center. Really opening up through the hips. Alright, you'll take just a few more rounds here, taking these nice and slow. Alright, last round. next time the knees start to pass through center, let's gather them in towards the chest. You can hold on to the shins, let the knees open wide around the ribs here. Maybe gently rocking it out side to side. Let the low back work down into the mat. And slowing those down, release to let the feet plant comfortably close, arms fall by the sides. We're going to move into a bridge roll here. Take an inhale through the nose. Exhale, tuck the tailbone to press the low back down. Squeeze the glutes to roll up. Hips, low back, and mid back, finding a straight line bridge. And we'll reverse that back down, mid back, low back, hips. Just moving at your own pace here. Exhale, tucks to roll that up. And inhale, reverses it back down. Squeezing the glutes, feeling the hip flexors gently open at the top. Let's take about 3 more rolls here. All right, last one. And the next time the hips come down, knees gather in, let's rock it up to a seat. Come right up to plant the feet out wide here. Let the knees fall over to the right. Flexing the feet, turning towards that right leg, inhaling up tall. And exhaling to hinge forward and fold into a deer pose. We're trying to find about 90 degrees with the legs here. I'll turn so you can see better. Keeping a flex through the feet, gently stretching out that outer right hip. Let's slowly start to walk that back up. Inhaling the arms up overhead. Exhale, right arm back strokes. Take a twist to the right. Hands can relax down. We're twisting away from the legs here. Great. Slowly undoing. Let's take the hands behind, pivot the knees all the way over to the left. Trying to find as close to 90 degrees here as you can. Inhaling tall. And exhale takes it forward to fold, finding your deer pose. And slowly making your way back up here, inhaling the arms up high. Exhale, left arm back strokes, twisting away from the legs here. Go right, undoing the spine back to center. Let the legs tuck off to the side. We'll move forward to a tabletop position. Finding all fours, hands and knees. We'll start to work through our cat-cows, inhaling the heart forward. And exhaling to push the ground away, contracting. Moving with the breath here. Maybe even think about this movement starting from the tailbone, letting that ripple up through the spine, one vertebrae at a time. Slowing that down, we'll bring the spine back to neutral here. Let's take the right foot and bring it just outside the mat. Nice. From here, we'll start to open that right knee up towards the sky. Take an inhale. Exhale, gently push the hips back, driving that right knee back, opening. Inhaling to shift it forward. Exhaling to push it back. Let's do 2 more like that. Inhale, moves forward. Exhaling it back, opening that hip into an external rotation. Last one. Right with the next inhale, let's pull it forward and slide that right leg through to a low lunge. You can grab blocks under the hands here if you like. Really thinking about the tailbone tuck as you send the hips down so we open up through the left hip flexor here. Just take an inhale. With an exhale, pull that back to a hamstring stretch, lengthening through the right leg, flexing into the foot, curling the toes towards you. Inhaling to move that forward. Exhale, pulls it back. Great, let's take about 3 more here. Really thinking about the hip staying as centered as possible as you pull it back while maintaining a long spine as well. So your blocks are really helpful for this one. We don't want to be rounded over the leg. Maybe even squeezing that left glute as you come forward to further open up through the hip flexor. Last one. Great, the next time you're forward in lunge, you'll pause there. Blocks can tuck off to the side. Planting the hands, give that right leg a slide back to tabletop. So let's take that left foot just outside the mat. Left knee starts to open up. Take an inhale and exhale, shifts it back. Inhale, pulls it forward. And exhale, takes it back. Ooh, this part of my hip is very tight today. Great, 2 more here. Awesome, finishing off your last one. The next time you shift it forward, slide that left leg through to low lunge. Grabbing onto your blocks if you're using them. Finding that tuck with the tailbone, send the hips down, maybe giving that right glute a squeeze, opening up the hip flexor. Exhale, pull it back and lengthen hamstring stretch. Left leg extends. Inhale, moves it forward. Exhale, takes it back. Maybe take a couple more rounds, flossing between these 2 shapes at your own pace here. And last one. Right, next time you're forward in your lunge shape, let's go ahead and slide that left leg back to a tabletop position, resetting here. Take a second to give the hips a bump left and right. Maybe peeking over the shoulder, finding a gentle stretch through the side body. Great, recentering here. With an inhale, give the right leg an extend back, lift that up. Exhale, pulls knee to nose, right foot steps through to a low lunge. And this time we're going to give the back toes a tuck and lift the knee and keep the left hand down. You can always bring a block under the left hand as well here. With an inhale, reach the right arm forward up along the ear. And with an exhale, we'll start to backstroke that right arm, opening up to a twist. But we'll keep backstroking it towards the back of the room, rolling to the outer edges of the feet as that left hip sinks down, horizon lunge. Inhale takes that all the way back, reach the right arm forward along the ear. Exhale, backstrokes to open all the way to horizon. So one more time, inhale takes it forward. Exhale, takes it back all the way to horizon and pause here. Let's bring that left hip all the way down. Nice. Turning to face the back of the mat. So we have the right leg crossed over the left here in a seated pike. Take the left hand towards the right knee. Exhale, twist it to the right, twisting away from the legs, away from that crossed leg. All right, one more breath. And we'll take that back the way we came, turning back, following that right leg. Let's pivot it all the way back to our lunge. And we'll step right up to the top. Soft bend into the knees, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, take it up, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, softens to fold. Inhale, rise to standing, take a big sweep up overhead with the arms. And exhale, take that right back down, hinging at the hips. Inhale, lengthens. Exhale, folds to plant, step it back, and take the knees down. So let's move that to the other side. Inhale, takes left leg back, lift. Exhale, steps the left foot through, giving the back toes a tuck to lift that knee. You can always add a block under the right hand here. Inhale, left arm sweeps up along the ear. Exhale, it sweeps back to open to twist, but it keeps going back. Roll to the outer edges of the feet. Right hip sinks down, horizon. Inhale, returns. And exhale, opens that up, horizon. It's one more time here, inhaling forward. Exhale, backstroke, open up to horizon. Pausing here, let's bring that right hip all the way down. And we'll turn to face the back of the mat so the left leg is crossed over the right. Inhale, takes right hand to left knee. And exhale, twist away from the legs, twisting it to the left. Sitting tall through your spine. We got a couple more breaths here. Great, let's start to undo back. Bring the hands back to plant. We'll pivot it back towards our lunge and step up to the top, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen it out in your halfway lift. Exhale, softens to fold. Inhale, rise to standing, big sweep up overhead. Exhale, release, hinge at the hips, take it back down. Inhale, lengthens. Exhale, folds to plant, step it back to a plank. I'll take it back to our first downward facing dog. Taking the hips up and back here. Maybe imagining there's a string at the tailbone lifting up towards the sky. The knees can bend as much as you need here to lengthen out through the spine. Great, take one more deep breath. All right, let's go ahead and lower the knees back down to a tabletop position here. We're going to revisit a shape we took earlier by taking that right foot just outside the mat and start to open that right knee up towards the sky. Once again, shift backwards here, letting that knee open up into an external rotation. And we're going to pause here for a couple breaths. Great, start to pull up out of there. And let's cross the right ankle over the left thigh, flexing the right foot. So we're in like a figure 4 shape. The hands can come as far forward as you need here. And you can stay still, or we can start to work through some cat-cows in this shape. Inhaling to open the heart. Exhaling to push the ground away. It's opening on the inhale. Closing on the exhale. All right, start to bring the spine back to neutral, and we're going to take it into a pigeon pose, which we don't do very much. It's very similar to deer, but let's start to slide that left leg back, sinking the hips down. So right heel can pull in as close as you need. And you can take this into a very passive pigeon and come all the way down onto the forearms right away. You could start up a little more active like I am here, propping up. You can always bring blocks for your hands. Thinking about the hips facing forward here. Maybe giving that back glute a squeeze to open up through that front hip flexor. And then when you're ready, you could start to melt it down, taking a little more passive. Maybe moving down to forearms. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Great. Start to work your way back up onto the hands. And start to pull that back leg in so we can readjust to our tabletop position, uncrossing. Okay, so let's give that a try on the other side. Step the left foot outside the mat. Start to open the left knee up towards the sky. And like we did at the beginning, take a shift back here. Let's pause for just a couple breaths, letting that left knee open up. And starting to work back forward, cross the left ankle over the right thigh. Finding like a figure 4 shape with the legs here, to show you as much as I can. And we'll start to work through some cat-cows. You can always adjust the hands more forward to make more space. Inhaling to open, exhaling to close. Moving with the breath here. Great. Start to bring your spine back to neutral as we set up for our pigeon pose. So we'll start to slide that right leg back, sinking the hips down here. This left foot can pull in as much as you need as we adjust into our pigeon pose. You can take it right down into a passive shape, or we can start up a little more active like we did on the other side if you did that. Staying tall through the spine initially, maybe giving that right glute a squeeze, open up the hip flexor here. We don't do pigeon pose very much, but sometimes it's nice. if you worked it down to the forearms on the other side, we'll start to move that back, move that down. I'm going to take 3 or 4 more breaths here. Great. All right, let's slowly start to work up out of there. Waking it back up onto the hands. Start to pull that back leg in. And adjusting back to your tabletop position. Awesome. Let's take the toes together, knees wide. Send it back to a child's pose for a moment. Sending the hips back as the arms walk forward. Great. Take a breath in through the nose. Exhale, let the hands walk over to the right, finding a gentle stretch through your left side body. And inhaling that through center. Exhale, move it over to the left. Let's take that slowly back to center, grip into the fingertips to pull up out of there, and take a seat off to one side. Let's find a comfortable crisscross position, maybe even propping up onto a block here. We'll take just a couple nice deep breaths to wrap up this evening, sitting nice and tall. Finding full inhales through the nose. Letting the exhale relax the body, soften the shoulders. Let's take 5 more breaths here. Right, whenever you're ready here, you can take any last movements through the neck. Maybe circling up the wrists, whatever else you might need. As you start to reawaken, and thank you for being here this evening. See, it is almost the end of June. I've been working on the June schedule. We'll have that out at the end of the week. Whoops. And that is all for tonight. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. And we have Pilates on Thursday, so hopefully I will see you there. My blueberry loaf should be just about done in the oven now. So I'm gonna go grab that and I will see you guys next time.